down 9 with about, I think, 2.5 minutes to go, 2:20. Got the shots you needed, got the stops you needed, and just overall, what you say to the team after this one?
No, I mean, we fought, right? We battled, and they hung in there. We had the one time in the first half where we were down I'd say 15, 16, and they fought their way back. Obviously, a lot of guys played well. I mean, the second half defense was the best we've played, and there was a lot of guys, but Gordon Hayward's defense in the second half was big-time stuff. His pick-and-roll defense, his individual defense, and he made a bunch of team plays, too.
This is not something necessarily used for confidence and motivational purposes, but to kind of show the guys that, to get up against this team, I think you're down 18 at one point, second quarter, and then down 9. Is this something that can be used as a little bit of a springboard of saying, hey, do these things we can?
Oh, yeah, and for sure. And the reality is and they know this, we talk about it all the time, this league is not about a great win. This league is about, can we come back and play well Wednesday and win? That is what the league is about, If you want to look at every year, the teams that end up at the year with the worst records beat the teams with the best record. That's the way the league is. They're all such good players that the difference in teams is night to night. It's not one night. It's, can you put games together?
What did you draw up, 108 to 106 or whatever, you had 7, 8 seconds left, you needed 2 or 3 to get into overtime, and then up with it.
Yeah,
What was that?
That was a play that Jaylen Brown jumped up, but it was a play for Melo to come to the top and actually look for a 3. But then he kind of jumped up and took it away, and Melo made a good play. Went to the open area, and he had a clean drive to the basket, because that is a tough time defensively in this league. Up to, you don't want to give up the 3 to lose it, so, guys are they're less apt to help, right? And so you see it a lot, right? Down 2, you get lanes to drive the ball, But he made a good read just to get there.
Now starting Miles and over PJ, just what was that decision to make that change lineup-wise?
I mean, yeah, just because that's the way we're going to do it. PJ and I have been talking about this ever since Miles came back. So he's still going to play. His minutes won't change. PJ will play just as many minutes as he was before. But we have to get to playing groups, like we were talking about before the game. And so, and they're going to play together, too. So PJ's all about the team. He's extremely team-oriented. He grew up in a basketball family. He has no problems with it. And, again, this has been something that's been discussed since Miles came back. This wasn't like I brought him in yesterday and said, So this was not anything that anybody wasn't planning on.
With Melo, his last couple of games here, he's on just a really hot streak. What are you seeing from him overall? Just how much is he into a good rhythm for you guys to kind of get you?
He's playing great. I mean, their defense obviously is about as good as it gets, and he had 36, 8, and 9 rebounds. And his defense is getting better and better, too. So, he's a very talented player, and I would say, I don't know if it shows, but if you watch him in the weight room and you look at all the data that they give us, he's a lot stronger than he was last year. He couldn't do a lot this summer on the court or conditioning, because of his foot, but he did spend a lot of time in the weight room. And I think that that's paying off, too. His numbers finishing at the rim, although it's early, I believe are much better than they have been in the past. And a lot of that's just strength.
Steve, obviously PJ's been in the line, in the starting lineup and off the bench, and put up both roles, but it seems like this kind of helped get him out of that couple of game dry spell. Do you feel like with Miles back that this is just a better spot for him to come off the bench in that game?
You know what? It's a valid point. I don't know if I could answer that truthfully. I mean, how do you really know? I know this is I watched him do his routine. They all have different shooting times in the morning before shoot around. And, he works with Mike Wells, and I said, oh, he's going to play well tonight. You could just see by the way he walked into the building. He's a prideful guy. He's a very, very important player for us. And, you know, I think sometimes people don't understand, you know, fans can get upset with guys when they have a couple bad games. The fans are no more upset than the players are, you know. So I think, you know, he walked in the building this morning, he got himself ready to play, and he played a really good game.
Coach, we talked about Mark Williams, a game best, plus 33, 18, 16, including 8 billboards.
It was his best game. You know, I know he had the monster game. Tonight, he made more just effort plays than he's made so far in this 2 years. And it was, you know, think of the number of offensive rebounds he kept alive. He ran down, not just rebounds in his area. He blitzed tonight well, you know, when we needed to do that. He was good in the drop. But he had a lot of juice tonight. And, you know, it's playing every night, you know, for the first time. I think people look at him and, you know, you got to remember, you know, he didn't play 82 games last year, so some of this he's learning on the fly also. But I thought that this was by far the best game. His attitude, his intensity, all of it.
Steve, obviously, you are still kind of favorite of the year. Do you have any indication of when you
No, he was able to do a little bit today and shoot around, but so he's getting closer. But you know, no, nothing for sure.